We are live.
Has that done the sound?
Hold on. I would do it anyway. Oh. And we are live. We had a little Sorry, I had to take a little nap. The Cowboys, doing it to me today, but the Eagles won anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah. Hey, Latrell. Yep, you'll see me in Chantilly probably in the spring one. Oh, that's right. My man's got it today. I'm gonna let him work at. I got to get used to that when he's on. So we got That's Man back today.
What's up?
Like I said,
glad to be here.
When he feels like it, he's going to be on. So, we got Andrew with Paige and Dinneman, and we got Bobbles on. Welcome to everyone.
What's up, baby?
Hope everybody's having a fun last weekend to the season. Yes, that is true.
Yes, but unfortunately, you do not get the deal that I was going to make because Scott had already disclosed it in a previous.
Yeah, last week because nobody wanted to say anything, so I just talked about it last weekend. But good call out, Three Rivers. We got James here.
Man, everybody's popping on here. I'm keeping your production staff up to date.
Yeah, so my boys lost, but my Caps won today. They're playing pretty well right now. Oh, that's fine, Three. That's fine. You're still good.
It's all good, brother.
So any pickups or anything that you got in your world this week? I know it's not very important in your world right now, but
I was eyeing a card. It was a Victor Robles card, which I'm really surprised people are keeping up with him. I lost the auction. I got sniped. So you and me need to talk about me getting sniped software.
Yeah, we can talk about it, but that's just something that's going to happen. But hey, Don, how you doing, buddy? We can talk a little bit about it right now since we brought it up. So you're losing in the last few seconds, right? But you're not hearing it until you're not seeing it happen, right?
I'm not seeing it happen, right?
Right. So you're getting sniped, and all that is it's not as bad as it. That bot is not as bad as it sounds. I have one of those. So what that does is it allows you're putting in your top dollar on the eBay itself, right?
Yeah.
Where somebody else is putting in their top dollar using a bot and letting the bot do it. And the reason why it's beneficial to do that. So if you think somebody is shield bidding, they can't really do that. So they can and they can't, because if somebody wants it to be at $25 and they think somebody's got the bot at 26, it still happens. I haven't used mine in like 2 or 3 years. But that's what's happening. Are you putting in your top dollar bid?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you're still getting beat. So you're getting sniped, but it's not like.
Well, I'm adjusting it as in the last few seconds, and then it looked like I won, and then I didn't.
Right, because that means that somebody usually snipes happen within the last 6 seconds of the bidding. So, and it'll in the background in the computer language, it'll be banging them out in that last 6 seconds so fast that it can't tally who won until that last one, and it shuts it off. So
cool. That's interesting. That's what I didn't know.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just that's why I'm saying if you're going to wait till 30 seconds to put in a bid, don't hesitate. Just put in your top bid. Don't just try to play it like, oh, I'm going to bid $10 when you really could go up to, you feel comfortable bidding 15 at that point. Just go ahead and bid 15 and try not to think you're going to save $5. That's the only way to combat that. But usually must have been a pretty good, decent card.
Yeah, it was. Okay. It was a serial numbered auto. So
yeah, sorry to hear that, man. I just put in whatever when I see it, and like you have other eBay, it's easier done, but on PWCC and some of those other auction houses, every time a bid is in, it extends the time, right? So it doesn't work as well. It still works, but it's not. You always still going to have 3 or 4 minutes to sit there and go, "Oh, I'm going to, I can increase the bid."
What's the best card you've gotten using that software? Off the top of your head?
David Wright Auto, and maybe a Pete Alonso. But see, I use it in the opposite way that you're thinking. So I use it to put in low bids, right? So that way I can't get shill build bidded. So I use it so like if I want to feel like to steal a card, because what somebody will do is like they'll shill bid and then like they'll accidentally win it because nobody bids over them, and then all of a sudden they offer it to the second bidder, the owner of the card, because the first bidder declined to pay it or whatever. But I haven't had that. Yeah, and that's another thing, Don. A sniper is good, so that way it's a 6 or 7 day bid. You see it on day 6, right? Most of the time it's going to end on Sunday afternoon. You're busy with the family or whatever. You go ahead and put it in on your sniper, and that way you let your sniper bid it for you, because you don't want to. You might not be available there the last minute or whatever.
Now, is that like a service that you do a subscription to?
Yeah,
like a one-time fee or a monthly fee? Or?
I use one I pay $6 a year for, and that's it. It's very rudimentary. It's very. You look at it and you're like, "What is this?" It's very basic, and all it is, and so you go onto it, you put in. So if you look at your eBay sales. So let's see here.
Don, just don't step off the field and you won't turn old. You'll stay young.
All right. Let me share my screen real quick. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do at all.
Present.
Let's see. Present. Share.
There we go.
Yeah. So if you look at, let me see if I can get this right since it's been so long. There should be a unique number for this bid. Usually I thought it was, man, it's been a long time since I've done this.
Is it like specific to eBay that you have to do this for?
No, so the number is specific. So once you punch in the number, your sniper will know exactly, because that number represents the auction on eBay and it'll recognize it. You could use it on other accounts too, but most accounts on auctions will extend times.
That seems like that's the big trend now. I guess that's to help those without snipe, I guess, maybe, and get more dollars for the sale. Just seems like that's the thing I've been seeing a lot of content about and hearing folks talk about, is that.
Right. And I mean, you hear the word bot and everybody's like, oh, it's terrible, bots, this, that, and the other. But this one here is more like an aid, and it's not really helping you. Only way it's helping you is to let to get like so you're not killed at so if you're not there, you don't have to be there that last 30 seconds to put in your best one. Because a lot of times you want to keep your bids low. And also, with shill bidding, if I sat there on day 6 and go, well, I won't be available, and there's a card for $250, and I put in a bid for 250, trying to hit it low. Well, that gives the person, oh, my card's not moving. Let me sit here and see where I use my dummy account, and I can sit there and try to search where my top bid is at right now. So not only they can search, but it looks like there's action on that card, right? So it makes it more appealing. So that to me is one of the reasons where if you put it on your sniper, you might have only bid $5 on the count, but you got your sniper at $250 to put it in for your last one. I'm going to find this number if it's the last thing.
That's pretty interesting. That seems like then I just,
Yeah.
if you're buying cards and having trouble buying on auction, then
I want to say the company I use is Galaxian. I think that's one of the well-used ones in our community for $6 a year.
Wow.
And you can put in as many. And once you put in that number, at eBay number, where is the number? Which
Evening, Doc.
Hey, Doc.
Don's asking,
Gixxon.
are you using...
Thank you, Don. Yeah, Gixxon. That's it.
Bobbles has
Go
got
to
a
your description. Yeah, thank you. I thought I was on the description. Am I not on the description? Oh, that's right. Thank you, Bobbles. Yeah, right here. Bobbles, thank you so much, sir. So
Bobbles is wearing a red sheet off of his neck tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Bobbles.
Down his back.
I just woke up from my sleep. I don't want to say a nap. So this number right here, you put it in your snipe, then you put in your your top amount. You can always go back and adjust it, right, or change it or whatever at any time. So that's what it is. It's not a big thing. I think it's used by a lot of people. Like Don knew what it was. I got it from another guy in our community. It's just something that helps protect you as a guy that's doing the bidding from being shill bidded, and also putting in your top bid. You don't have to be there to put in your top bid. Cool. I think it was something that started because remember back in not too past, and they might still have it, where they had the penny auctions. Mm-hmm. Where you can buy pennies and do that. That's where that kind of started.
Okay.
Right there. So that way you didn't have to sit there and keep bidding. So
cool.
That was
I appreciate sharing that.
Yeah, and I mean, we can go through how to get it off air, offline or whatever. But yeah, I haven't used it in a while because I haven't really been doing a lot of auctions on eBay because it just seems like it's so many people on there.
You've been firing that PWCC up though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't buy anything this week.
I was about to say, you got anything to share? You asked me, it's your turn.
I got a couple of things here. I did get 2 in this week, so I got one of my 71s in, and now I'm picking these up. I'm on PWCC. What I'm using is the how much the card would be plus getting it graded, right? So I'm trying to come in cheaper than that on as many of the 1971 cards as I could possibly get. Now, what's happening is I don't know if I've told too many people, because last week the bidding kind of went up a little bit. It just seemed like more bids, and I got this Johnny Bench for my my PSA registry. So I've been going on there and just looking for cards for my registry. Clemente Bench. They didn't have as many cards last week. You can put us back on, Natsman. That's it. That's the only two I got. Hey, Mr. Fisherbite. Yeah, that's right, Carl. You know what price you want to give, and it keeps you at that hard number, and you don't keep bidding to try to make sure you win it. The other thing I have figured out in bidding, and this is just something that I use, is like you're bidding at $20, say. I will put in maybe $22 as my top bid, because a lot of times somebody will put in just $21 to beat your $20. And at that point, what's $2, right? So just to make sure, I'm not comfortable at 25, but I'm comfortable at 20 to something like that. Because somebody will wait till that last second, put in 22 or 21 to beat your 20. And you know,
something along those lines is eBay. And it just made me think of, I meant to ask you last week, the last time I was on here, and ask you about it and didn't get a chance to. But I was just kind of curious. You brought it up in one of your previous videos that you do solo, and it was the eBay authenticity for a card or for a slab.
Mine was a raw card, though, that I got.
Yeah, and with that, I guess my question is, what's the dollar amount on that now? And I think for those that didn't hear, one of your feelings on that.
I think it was like $120. I don't know exactly what it is, but it is at the thing you need to remember. Me and this guy negotiated a price, which I thought it was under it, but you have to remember it's the price that the card is originally priced at. So the card was priced at over $200. I got it for under $200. So say the cutoff is $200. It's still going to get authenticated. That's one thing I don't like. Two is we should have the option. And if it's going to go to eBay as a non-eBay card, or not eBay, PSA as a non-PSA card or raw card, I wish, is it 250 bobbles? Okay. I wish it gave us an option, since it's at PSA, to go, oh, do you want us to put it in a PSA slab? Do you want to get a PSA slab while it's here? Wouldn't that be a great thing to do? Like, yeah, I'm buying a raw card. You're going to send it to PSA to get authenticated. Why can't you put that service in there? If you're going to do that, go, hey, for $25 more, we'll grade it and send it to you. I think
if eBay and PSA start that, then that'll be interesting for you to make a phone call like, where's my cut? See, raw goes to CSG and slabs go to PSA.
Yeah. So, does it go to CSG? Well, if it went to CSG, wherever it goes,
offer to have it slabbed.
Offer to get it slabbed. Or say, hey, we're going to get this authenticated for you. Which one of these companies do you want us to send it to? If you want to get it slabbed. Oh, it's a Beckett slab. Would you like to get it crossover for $25 to PSA? Yeah. I wish, if you're going to make us go through that and you're already authenticating it, what's that one little step? I had to wait an extra week or whatever to do that anyway. And what I don't like is, so the biggest thing I don't like is how many times my raw card or any card gets handled and has to get unpackaged, packaged, another hands, because it's just more chances of something happening to it. So My guy packages it, sends it to wherever it got authenticated, then it got sent back to me. I feel lucky because I feel like I got it back a little quicker than some people in the process. I know some people has waited up to a month. I had to wait, I think, to probably about 20 days to get it. Where you can get most stuff from eBay at something like that you buy, usually get it within a week. But also the worst thing is you're watching your tracker. The tracker goes to point A, and then it's got to get another tracking number to come to you. So it to me, it's just all a little, and it should be an option where it's up to the buyer. It's not a bad option if somebody, wants that to happen, but it's always a nice service, but let us want to have the service. Because I was okay. The guy had a high rating, sold a lot of stuff. Why would he all of a sudden send me a bad card to ruin all of that, right? All it takes is one bad thing, and then you're off of eBay as a seller. Nobody's going to touch you. So, all this guy sells fake stuff. Nobody's going to buy from him. So that to me is kind of. We got Bob saying, I think the biggest issue with it is they would really want to pay for the card to be slabbed without ever seeing it in hand first. You could be wasting money on a card with defects. Yeah, but my I guess I should have said, if it's X, Y, and Z number, do it. If not,
just like you have that option now.
Right.
Give that option to when you do it. What you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can say, I don't want it graded. If it's not going to make this grade, I don't want it graded.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But and still pay the $25 or whatever, because unless it's something obvious, because what happens now is, okay, this card got sent to whoever I thought my card went to PSA, but it might have went to CSG. Went to whoever, got authenticated. Now it's coming back to me. Now I got to repackage it and send it back to PSA to get it graded. I want it in a PSA slab. I think the whole thing is stupid. We as collectors need to do our homework on a card before we buy it anyway. I'm pretty confident in my abilities to decipher if a card is real or not. Right. And into that.
That's a two-edged sword. There's a guy I saw on YouTube today that's in the news here this past week in the hobby, and he had a Willie Mays auto, thought it was legit. He's a Willie Mays collector. That's his PC. Mm-hmm. He got burnt, and he's had it for a couple of years now. And,
right.
He's that's his PC. He feels comfortable saying statement, I would imagine.
Right.
You can get got. You can get got.
Yeah, but shoot, the guy saying it's authenticated can get got. So
yeah,
they're not perfect. It's just I don't know. When it comes to a raw card, when you're going to sit there, it's authenticated. But to Bobble's, what he said, I would have to come back with, well, if they tell me it's not a certain grade, then send it back to the seller. I want my money back. Why do we not have that option? Oh, he's saying it's this guy put 5 pictures up showing me corners, edges, and everything, showing me how nice the card is and centering. Why?
You still don't know how they're going to ship it to you either.
Right.
Wrap it up in a piece of tissue paper and
they sent my raw card in that little blue flippity thing, and it was all nicely done. But then you got Dr. Exclusive here. International buyers are exempt from that program. I purchased a card from a seller based in the U.S. Over the threshold, it's getting sent directly to Canada. So I guess PSA or eBay doesn't want to pay that shipping fee. Because it's not an increase in shipping fee to the buyers, I don't think it looks like, or the sellers. I just, we didn't ask. It's something we didn't ask, a service we didn't ask for that got pushed on us. They should just ask you. It is not a terrible service. It's not a bad service. It's just a service we didn't ask for, and we should be able to option if we
Optionality.
want it or not. That,
I agree. That's my
my
biggest
point.
beef.
Yeah, that's my point. If I bought a certain card, a higher end card, I would probably option for that service, right?
My question is, how does it supersede the return process if it's a fake? Because it's if you get say like the raw card, the hands on hit, it's authenticated. I verified through PSA, it matches up with the pictures, the serial number, everything else. Why is it getting sent back to PSA to verify verification of their own validation? It should come straight to me.
Well,
and then if it's fake, they say, well, no, it's fake. Well, I'm still protected by the return policy.
Right. And my problem. My other question was with this, since I had a raw card, it got sent to them, it got authenticated. Well, what does that mean? It just means the card's real. It's not going to mean that the crease down the middle of it's not there, right? So it gets to me and it's got a crease down the middle of it. And I'm like, well, this isn't the card that I was promised and I want to return it. Does them authenticate it negate me returning it? I haven't heard that issue yet with anybody. It's going to be an issue somewhere along the line. My issue is a couple of people have sent a card in to be authenticated, and either a different card came back or the card is no longer in existence and or known where it's at. And so I'm not saying there might be some mischievous play going on at these places, but it's just
it's a money grab.
I just think the more it's handled, the more problems you're issuing in it. Why do we put cards in one touches and plastic things to protect it to be handled again? Right? Why do we carry around big metal cases at shows, but just putting in a little blue flip in the mail is all we need? So it's yeah, see, Bobble. So that right there tells me, So my question is, on a raw card though, that could have been disclosed. Is that disclosed when it gets taken to PSA? Do they get the original write up on what it's supposed to be? I think a lot of it is still it's about as clear as muddy water, and needs to be cleared up. Just like a lot of things in this hobby, it's a lot of gray areas, so they don't have to be pinned down to one thing. They can do a lot of maneuverability within their own structure. You're muted, brother.
So I was eating ice. I was reading it. Man, I just got popped from, man, that's going back into time with some Gavin Lux now.
What's that?
That's my biggest flop right there. That's going back into time right there, brother. Sorry, yeah. I had to say that.
I did get, I got last week. I did get a CSG and a SGC order. I'll be showing that, and I'm going to do something that sacrilege this Wednesday. I'm going to show both orders in the same video. I hope I don't get blown back in time or something with having two different companies in the same order in a reveal. I'm gonna call it the Frankenstein reveal.
Yeah. You ought to get for your pick for the video. Get Frankenstein on there.
Yeah, rise.
CSG, PSA. Oh.
Yeah, I've done it before, and we'll do it again. And we'll do it again.
Oh, that's a trip. Are you doing any subs? Are you subbing any cards?
Yeah, so I did. So I did send an order to SGC this past week. My typical Batman, Star Wars, some baseball stuff with them. getting a CSG order together very hesitantly, slowly, to send in. And I'm going to be sending in a PSA order this week because I have that Alonzo that we're talking about that's sent in, and I'll probably go ahead and send some more Gary Carters. Even at that price, I still don't like.
Dude, I don't know what to do with this Juan Soto, the stadium rookie cards I got, the Gatorade for Stadium Club. I'm still sitting on it. I don't know whether to send it to PSA or to SGC or CGS. I just don't know. I'm not going to sell it, but I would like to have it that if it needed to be sold, that it could, help its value. So, I mean, it's PC, and that's why I'm leaning towards CSG, because that's where I want to send my PC stuff to, because I love their slabs. Just the clarity of their slabs. Can't nobody touch them. But I'm a SGC guy with a little bit of PSA, so I don't know, man. I don't know what to
do. Yeah, I'm slowing down with everything. I don't know which story you want me to, what you're talking about, Andrew. Yeah. Him and Genie Pigs, hand down. I am trying to be more selective of what I'm sending in, why I'm sending it in.
This is for Fisher Bite.
What's that?
That's for a Fisher Bite.
Oh.
You want to hit and seen it?
Yeah, because you have the top loader and the regular size, right? Now that size card you can get regular price. That's not more to get that other one more. Yeah, they'll see SGC will do both of those for the same price.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big one is and the big one is serial number 9 out of 48.
Mm-hmm.
And the little one is 5x7.
I don't know what to do.
CSG, they don't do the bigger cards. SGC will. So if you want them both in the same flip.
Yeah.
So SGC is who I send those to. Because you're talking about, that size right there.
I actually love that.
Huh?
I actually like that.
What, this car?
The what you got it in?
Yeah, it's just a 5x7 top loader. You can buy them.
I thought that was the one because I got the smaller screen I'm looking at. I thought that was the one that you had, like the Star Wars card that you got.
Oh no, I mean, and that's not no. This is just a top loader. So.
Yeah, that one is a SSP.
Yeah, so they make this size top loaders, and they also make this size rigids. They're number 4s rigid holders. If you're ever looking for that, I have some of those as well for when I send in bigger cards to SGC. Yeah, that's Staven. You're Dom. You're right. They'll grade them comic book, but they don't do bigger sports cards. That's funny. They just started doing the thicker ones, and Staven, they do comic books, but they don't do all cards either. They only in non-sport cards. They only do Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and they don't even do Magic the Gathering, I think.
I thought they did that.
They might do Magic the Gathering, and they just started doing Marvel for whatever reason. Just Marvel.
Yeah, CSG, that's a different part of the company for the comics.
Yeah. But I mean, you would think with them being as long as comic book graders, that would have been the first thing they would have done. Is like, send in your Star Wars stuff, send in your DC Comics cards, send in all of that stuff, your TV cards.
Yeah.
Matter, you're addicted to Black Border, well, you better stop getting them right now.
I like those black bordered one touches, and then I moved on to the those ones that we use now. I think you use them too with the UV
I like them
protection.
too, but they're not readily available. It looks like so.
Yeah, and if you've got some, I know I sold some to the local card shop. I got that. I mean, it was just like buying them. I got my money back.
I just want to let people know, if you go into your card shop and you don't see Ultra or BCW or whatever, here's another company that I've been using right here. Ultimate Guard card cases. I love these. They're very clear. They have.
Can you hold that up again?
Yeah. So they got the UV protection. They lock down. A reason why you have to use a little bit of force to lock and unlock, and the perfect fit for Ultra fit these perfect. It's just another card. So they had them at my card shop, but I've been using them before. My card shop in Iowa was, Mr. Fisherbike, you're addicted to tuxes of all sizes? You trying to tell us something there, bud? Yes, David, I know. I think when it comes to them, I think they're trying to get into this part of the hobby of grading slowly and not just jumping in and taking everything. I don't know what because they just started doing Marvel because they wanted to get in on the metal scene.
It seems like they're a little late on that, though.
Yeah, and so that one goes to their other one, and their flips on that have a little bit more color. That's why I was surprised they went with that green flip when they first started, because if you look at their comic books and their cards, their playing card stuff, it's a little bit. They actually use colors for different stuff and all that. So it was kind of strange when they went with that. So, and
I liked the green, but I didn't think it was a good neutral.
Right.
Yeah, wasn't a good neutral look.
Yeah. So I opened up some update this week. I did pretty good. I did get a Soto, was it Topps Black Gold or whatever? That's a beautiful card. I think it's right here, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I'm going to put your big screen on that.
And I mean, you want to talk about just having fun in a low range in the kiddie pool. I mean, this is where I'm at. I pulled that, and I was about as giddy as getting an autograph. So, just a beautiful card in the stance. Just really like this, and I opened up some Stadium Club, and they got beautiful inserts again this year. Holiday, pull that. I did get a Mike Trout short print in Holiday. Let's see here.
I really wish Stadium Club, would be more valued in the hobby like it used to be. That's a pretty card.
Yeah, so you see the lights around his neck, So any wanders in I got wanders in updates. Man, I just put them away in my box to be. I have a box of stuff to be graded that I always go through and re-go through. So I've already put those up. Because I did get a Wander any product. I just gone through and put a bunch of stuff up and away. So all my Wanders I don't have them right here to show. But yes, I did. I did get one back. I can show you real quick.
I'm gonna put you back on big screen. Yeah.
This was my disappointment in my SGC return. It's 8.5. It's off center, but I didn't think it was an 8.5 off centered. I was thinking it was a 9. So that one hurt a little bit. I will let you. Well, this one here too. I mean, I'll let go of this one here, Mr. Fisher Bike, no doubt. It's a Prism, Wander Franco Prism refractor in a 10. We could talk about that. So,
Hey, Bink. Yeah, he said he's got a PSA he's working on. I know you got your.
yeah, I am. I have been real slow, Bink. You can go ahead and put us back. So, Bink, I can tell you, I have one. I have several actually with our friend JT, your friend and ours. He, it's just been a while getting back. I'm not happy at all with. That's another good one.
That's one I use.
Yeah, James. We need to get together on what's out there and help each other on what to find, because you got to kind of get what you can get sometimes. So I am not happy with PSA at all. And let's be real, if PSA was a restaurant, I wouldn't eat there anymore, right? Because I got so many selections to go and eat at other places that will treat me like the human being that I am and care about my well-being.
Did he ever get that order back from PSA?
He's got one. He's got the one that was held hostage.
Yeah.
But what PSA did was they stopped all of his other orders. They stopped progressing on them. I just but it's other factors. PSA, for this being a hobby, you got to understand, for PSA, it's not a hobby. It's a business. For all of us, it's a hobby. Well, not all. For most of us, it's a hobby. And the last thing that I want in my hobby is stress. I'm sorry. I don't want to have, I got enough of that in other places. And I've been trying to cut. If it's something that stresses me out in my real world life, I cut it out. If I can, and still live. So right now I have I have it here in my little stack to send. Get ready. This is the car we were talking about earlier that had to get authenticated. So this style right here of Alonso, it's a 475. This is the Father's Day edition. This one, and I'll send some Gary Carter's to get graded. And yes, it's not way too, it's still a little too expensive to do like Gary Carter, for my registry. I don't have this in a registry, but all my other ones in my display is PSA. So I kind of want to keep my display, even though my bottom row is the 2019 Stadium Club, which is actually my favorite picture of that year, where him tossing the ball to first base. I have a whole row of those in CSG. They're beautiful, and they fit the case too. But that's what I'm doing, Gary. I'm still I got a couple orders with Pete Alonso's and Gary Carter's there now. Also have 4 that I sent in July that I sent in just for sale purposes for the football season, believe it or not. And I couldn't get them back during the football season. Sent them to get graded and still don't have them. And this was like July. So not a fan of PSA. I just wish I wasn't so into that registry. That's Johnny Benches. I'm trying to find as much as I can already graded. 71s, I'm trying to find already graded. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna do it or not. Oh, yeah, I've always loved that one.
That's the one I was trying to get, but it was auto.
Oh, I know. It's the 5, right? That
Yep.
one. Yep. That's a pretty car. That red with the Nationals. Gary, yeah, and you're probably like me. You're seeing all the problems that PSA still having. Everybody thought Nat Turner was going to come in and save the world. Nat Turner is just a businessman. And their actual president or whatever talked, which wasn't Nat Turner. I think he's like CEO of the whole shooting match. I think. I just, what are they at right now? They just released the pricing with $19 on bulk, up to $4.99, and so and $25 for nine people in their group for people that won't pay the fee. And I mean, I think you only have to send in 20 cards to be a bulk order too, which I think that's a good thing.
I'm trying to find it now.
Yeah, Mr. Fisher bike. Yeah, $19.
Yep.
For registry, that's a high. That's I don't like it, and
they've changed they're pushing this grade vault and sell for them too.
Yes, well, that's whoever controls that space controls the cards. It seems like if you can control the vault and flipping aspect of it, I think they're all behind because I think, yes, that's still going to be a feature for the rest of our lives. I think that's slowing down some, and that's where we're having some of the issues that some of us have talked about in this past week. Because cards is not as easy as it was, right? I mean, for me, it's nothing's changed for me. How much I'm willing to spend is the same as it was this week as it was last week. Was it 2 years ago? I'll get that. I'll get your message, Jason. Yeah, I don't know, and this has been a question too brought up by our buddy JD and Retro Omar, which is a great one. How much PSA has grown in the last couple of years? How much can they go down and still be able to make it worthwhile to do it, right? So they got to get an X dollar amount to come in per card to make it worthwhile. And you got to remember, they want their cut too. They ain't gonna just pay their employees and not pay themselves. So that's the number where SGC's got a little bit of, I think, SGC, CSG being smaller. I think they could probably go down a little bit more and still get away with some things, right?
Yeah, PSA, you're going to have to do for that $19. You got to do a 20 card minimum. So that's $380 worth of cards. Price point.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And, the $25 card is not terrible if you didn't have the part of, because you don't have to be part of their group or whatever to do that. I just
think the same was 65-day turnaround.
65-day, and then for $40 a card, it's a 20-day turnaround. So that's the part of PSA I don't like in these companies that started. is the we'll jump the line by paying a hostage fee, but the times are still estimated. It's not a guarantee. So you pay $15 more a car to get them back faster. To me, it's really not fair to any of the consumers. Again, if I went to a restaurant and was willing to pay $15 more for my meal, do I get mine before the guy at the next table that's been sitting there already?
Yeah.
I don't think that's good business practices, but they all do it. So,
Wow. Omar just got his brother's order back from July.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good, Andrew. That's good. I'm sure that's what I've been contemplating is, do I want to send in at 19 for cards? Maybe I should, right?
Just to have a card graded at 19 that you need graded, you're throwing 18, you're throwing 19 other cards in to get that rate.
Right.
It's better just to get the 25. It's the same turnaround time.
Right.
Just do the 25 for the one card.
That might be. I just want to get my Reggie. If I'm addicted to anything, and if anybody knows what I'm talking about, is that damn registry. And I have not been sending stuff in, and I wish, to the class, 19 is too much. What is the right number? What are we comfortable with? 15? Maybe I'll put out a thing this week because I can do that now. A questionnaire. Am I putting out $15, $12? What are we comfortable at as a group? $12 says Clay. Mr. Fisher Mike says 12. Pink 12. I do. I'm with you that 19. If y'all are wondering how my hands are in the air and I'm putting out stuff, it's because Nats Man can do it for me now. It's magic. Yeah, because that was a great point by Gary. 19 and backed up by everybody else in the thing. Y'all have made a believer out of me that 19 is too much, and I'm not just saying that because I really didn't want to do it at 19. Right? I might just send in this one card to
Well said.
And at 25, right, Nats Man. So for us to get the 19, a show of hands, we have to send them into, not have to, but most of us will send into a bulk submitter, right? This has always been my issue with, not an issue in a bad way, but why I used to always send in my own cards, because I have to pay to mail it to the bulk submitter, and then I have to pay to get it shipped back to me from the.
Plus, you're paying shipping work within the price,
right?
To get it.
Yeah. So
shipped to PSA.
So a lot of times that $25 for one card, I might come out ahead on that deal, right? Yeah. Thanks for opening my eyes. Good job, class. I like this. We're psychology majors here. This is awesome. The chat has influenced. I don't know who I influenced, but
it's all about the card and the price point,
right? And I mean, this card right here, at one point $4.99, and even now at $4.99, they might question that in the 10, right? But it is what it is. I'm with you, Bink. If they offered $10 and said you get it back in a year for my stuff for just the registry, I have said that from the beginning. But at least be upfront about it, right? Don't sit there and tell me, oh, we have a 120-day turnaround, and then I get my cards back 6 months later.
I really thought, really thought, I guess I'm naive, but I was really thinking that they would have a plan in place for people like yourself that do the registry, where you have a membership for submissions for your registry cards only at a very good price. Say $10 a card, easy. Just for that, I would assume that they've done that, and I cannot believe that's not been done. PSA, in my opinion, is forgetting who brought them to the dance.
Well, I think not only the problem of waiting out, Natsman, but on top of that, messing up a lot, screwing up orders, not getting the card back that you sent in, taking time. We are not losing when you paid and when you sent your order in. Bad housekeeping on their end. Really, really pathetic on PSA. And I feel like we're dogpiling, and I'm, and the PSA guys are going to PSA till they PSA'd out. I think they're block at. So we need to. I don't know. SGC, SCSG tag. This is your time, right? If you want to be the player that you want to be in this game, and I know not everybody thinks, even people SGC, why don't they have more orders in? They might be happy at where they're at because this might be the sweet spot for them, right?
There's a niche, yeah.
We're getting
not everybody drives a Cadillac,
right? And even if they are, they might be making Cadillac money. We don't know. We don't know what their overhead is. But we know PSA's opening up buildings all over the country and international.
Well, it's like JD. Me and JD's talking. JD's famous for saying this. Toyota Corollas were not very good cars when they weren't well liked.
Right.
Yeah. Toyota Corollas are like really good cars, different models and stuff. So, I mean, it's where you're at price point, PSA, their price, and what we were afraid of was going to happen has happened. They're pricing us out of the hobby. They want those big cards. And like what we were saying before we came on, that ain't the world we're living in now.
Right. Well, I think PSA has heard people like me and Gary and other ones saying, "Oh, I'll wait a year," but don't sit there and tell me 120 days and then a year from now get them, because even I like to sell some. I don't sell a lot. I sell maybe one card every a year. I don't know.
Well, for those of us that were doing SGC before SGC got hot, the same conversation that's going on about CSG is the very same conversation that was going on about SGC versus PSA.
Right. And I still, and I understand why PSA is number one. And it's not the registry and all that. It's people want their collection to look the same. So if they got into this and they were collecting PSA, they want to stay with PSA.
And that's legit.
Right. And if they were flipping cards and making more money with PSA, it's hard to say, oh, I can do the same thing with SGC. I just might have to grind a little bit more. I might, instead of selling 3 cards to make 100, I might have to sell 4.
That's where you're at for your business model, what you're willing to live with. Yep.
Right. And I don't have any issues with any of that. But as a consumer, let's look at it as a consumer. Anywhere else would we put up with this type of treatment as consumers? And I think we would not. And, and now that a lot of these people that came in during COVID, they're either not doing as much or leaving, they're getting, it's not as fun anymore for whatever reason, or B, it's just people that I lost my contract. So I was reading at the same time. So I just think maybe so people start changing their tune a little bit. That's what I was reading. That's pretty funny. You got me out of what I was thinking. But yeah, that's the perfect part, Mr. Fisher, Mike. And I see we're already at the hour mark, and I want to touch on something. And this has been a great chat with me, and that's been a good chat about. And we like the free flow. We like to be funky. Make it funky. So we're at the hour mark, and I want to just touch on my Saturday thing. I just want to follow up. It just, I don't like to be controversial in any way, and maybe I wasn't or not, but I did, messages and stuff. There is a such thing as being addicted in anything, right? But don't use it so casual, right? That's my only point. I've had friends pass from true drug addiction, ruin their lives with true drug addictions. So that's where I'm coming from. If you are not selling things, running up credit card debt, things like that, you can be addictions. But I think a lot of what I've been seeing is obsessions, and also the frustration is not as easy as it once was. And I don't think it all has to do with cards. I also think it is clicks on your media pages. That's it. And I love this hobby. I love all the people in it, no matter what. But if you are addicted and you feel like you are, it's nice that you come on here and share it with people on here. But get help. Go get help on any addiction. That's all I'm asking before you get in any worse trouble. And there's, I just and talk to friends and but get help. You can get help for any addiction.
Yeah, you can. I mean, there's
I wish we had a number to put up for addiction hotline.
You have an addiction. If you're out here, and this is something we've done, if you go out and are not making a house payment, a rent, you're not putting clothes on your child's back or putting food in their belly, you've got a problem. That's an addiction.
Yes.
For anything.
And
there's folks that are unfortunately doing this, thinking that they're going to make a quick buck for some reason. I think is part of it too. But that's serious. I mean, it's in the hobby.
I don't think it's addiction when your wife sees how much you spend on cards for a year and gets upset. That to me is not an addiction.
That's a lack of communication.
And that's all I want to say. And I feel for anybody that does feel like, and if you feel like you're addicted, get help. That's all I'm saying. Before you go down those rabbit holes, don't sit there and think you got to make content for it. That's all I'm saying. Don't trivialize it, please. So that's what I want to end it with. And I really do wish I had a number for addiction hotline, because it's no different than being gambling addiction or anything else. So I just want to clarify that, because I think maybe it got lost in what I was saying Saturday. But until next time, like, share. So thankful for Nats Man on here on another show with us. Very awesome to have him again. And I'll be reaching out, trying to get somebody lined up for next Sunday night, because actually I have a normal week ahead of me in my real life. Actually got one thing. Oh, go ahead, Nats Man.
Share one thing. I will not be on here next Sunday night. I will be prepping for surgery on Monday. So I'm having surgery next Monday morning. And so I'll be prepping for that. and so I won't be on here. I'll try to watch it the best I can with the medication that you got to take. But I want everybody that sent me messages and texts, and man, it's hobby love, man. It's hobby love.
Yeah, and that's, man, I know you don't do your own channel anymore, but you're a fixture in this content world, not just by my channel, but being involved in other channels and group chats. And you don't know how many people he talks to behind on normal days in this community. Everybody's giving you our best, brother. And
blue thumbs up, y'all.
Blue thumbs up. So until next time, see y'all.
Peace.